Okay, bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll start with our meeting of our sitting of August the 7th. So without any further ado, go ahead.
Alors, le premier point est l'adoption de l'ordre du jour. Il est proposé d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la présente séance ordinaire du 7 août 2023 avec l'ajout d'un point sous affaires nouvelles.
Le proposeur est secondé par.
Je seconde, Dominique Zito.
Merci.
Item 3, minutes. The first one is 3.1. It is proposed that the minutes of the regular sitting held on July 4, 2023 at 8 p.m. be approved.
Propose.
I'll propose that, Nancy Kokinisides.
And second.
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
Au point 4, compte payable, il est proposé de confirmer et d'approuver le paiement d'un montant total de 3 076 591,72 $ pour l'ensemble des chèques émis et annulés, les dépôts directs et les paiements préautorisés pour la période du 24 juin au 31 juillet 2023.
Le proposeur. Le proposeur, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Secondé
Je vais
par.
le seconder, Steve Bouchard.
Merci.
Item 5 is bylaws. The first one is 5.1. It is proposed to give notice of motion that bylaw number Gen 2022-55-1, entitled Bylaw Amending Bylaw number Gen 2022-55 concerning dog parks, will be submitted for adoption at a subsequent sitting of the Municipal Council and to file this draft bylaw. The object of this bylaw is to clarify the rules applicable to dog parks, and the adoption of this bylaw is scheduled to take place at the regular sitting of September 5th, 2023.
I need somebody for the notice of motion, and I think only one person, please.
Yeah, I'll propose that, John Morrison.
Thank you.
Au point 5.2, il s'agit d'un règlement de zonage, le 9058-108, intitulé Règlement modifiant le règlement de zonage numéro 9058, au fin de créer une nouvelle zone industrielle, 326M, à même une partie de l'actuelle zone industrielle 325M, et de créer de nouvelles grilles de spécifications établissant les normes d'implantation et les usages autorisés dans cette nouvelle zone. Considérant que le projet de règlement de zonage a été adopté à la séance ordinaire du conseil municipal du 4 juillet et que celui-ci contenait des dispositions propres à un règlement susceptible d'approbation référendaire, considérant que ce projet de règlement n'a fait l'objet d'aucune représentation de la part des personnes intéressées à l'Assemblée publique de consultation qui a été tenue le 24 juillet 2023 à 17h30, il est proposé d'adopter le deuxième projet de règlement de zonage 9058-108. Ce deuxième projet de règlement contient des dispositions propres à un règlement susceptible d'approbation référendaire. Un avis public énonçant les exigences relatives à la demande d'un référendum sera affiché sur le site Internet de la Ville le 11 août. Et l'adoption de ce règlement est prévue pour la séance ordinaire du 5 septembre.
Merci. Le proposeur.
Je le propose, Nancy Kokinisides.
Secondé par.
I'll second that, Erica.
Merci.
We are now at item 6, contracts. The first one is 6.1. Following this public call for tenders, as the awarding of public call for tender Génie 2023-400, exterior furbishment of Maison Lantier. We received 4 bids that were received within the allotted time frame. They were all opened publicly on July 21st, and following a review of the documents received, they were deemed compliant with the tender specifications. It is proposed to award this contract to Les Entreprises Ventec Inc., the lowest confirming bidder, for a total amount of $288,817.20, all applicable taxes included.
Proposed.
I'll propose it, Dominique Zito.
And second.
I'll second it, Chairman. Second.
Le deuxième point sous contrat est le 6.2. Il s'agit d'un renouvellement pour ce qui est du contrat TP 2021-11, travaux de déneigement pour les saisons hivernales 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024 avec 2 options de renouvellement. Ce contrat a initialement été octroyé le 1er février 2021 à Roxborough Excavation avec 2 options de renouvellement. Il est donc proposé de reconduire ce contrat avec Roxborough Excavation pour une 3e année de base du 1er octobre 2023 au 30 septembre 2024 pour une dépense globale de 1 054 828,94 $, toutes taxes applicables incluses, montant qui inclut une révision des prix unitaires correspondant à l'IPC.
So, I need a proposal, please.
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
And second,
Just second Dave, John Morrison.
Item 6.3, is the renewal of contract PP 2022-29, verification and analysis of fire hydrants and isolation valves with 4 renewal options. This is the first renewal option. This contract was initially awarded on July 4, 2022 to Simo Management Inc. with 4 renewal options. It is proposed that this contract be renewed with Simo Management Inc. for a first renewal option covering the period of September 1st to December 31st, 2023 for a total amount of $24,547.17, all applicable taxes included. This amount includes a revision of unit prices corresponding to the Consumer Price Index.
propose,
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
and second.
I'll second that, Paul Dufour.
Nous sommes maintenant au point 7, administration et finances. Le premier point est le 7.1. Considérant que le Centre Marc Vanier est un organisme offrant du logement pour les personnes ayant une déficience intellectuelle, considérant que la demande de renouvellement d'exemption de taxes de cet organisme à la Commission municipale du Québec, il est proposé d'informer la CMQ que la Ville ne s'oppose pas à la demande du Centre Marc Vanier relativement à l'immeuble situé au 3087 rue Mountain View à Kirkland.
Un proposeur
I'll propose that, Karen Blood.
est secondé par.
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
Item 7.2 is the cancellation of the outstanding balances of 2 loan bylaws. So it is proposed to amend loan bylaws number EMP 2021-01 and EMP 2022-01, replacing the amount of the expenditures by the new amounts indicated in the schedule that will be attached to this resolution, and to ask the Ministère des Affaires municipales et de l'Habitation to remove from its records all residual balances mentioned in the schedule.
Proposed
I'll
by,
propose that, Steve Bouchard.
and second.
I'll second that, John Morrison.
Thank you, John.
Au point 7.3, il s'agit des amendements au règlement du Club Kirkland 55+. Considérant que les règlements du Club Kirkland 55+, n'ont pas été mis à jour depuis septembre 2014 et que les modifications proposées reflèteront les nouvelles réalités du club en ce qui a trait aux activités quotidiennes et au nombre de membres du conseil d'administration, il est proposé d'approuver les amendements proposés au règlement du Club Kirkland 55+.
Un proposeur
Je me propose, Paul Dufour.
est secondé par.
Je le second, Nancy Kokinisides.
Merci.
Item 7.4 is the adoption of a policy in the event of fraud, considering that the recommendation that was made from the auditors during the audits of the 2022 financial statements. It is proposed to adopt a policy in the event of fraud.
Proposed.
I will propose it to Chairman Jack here.
Somebody to second, please.
I will second it, Dominic Zito.
Thank you.
Au point 7.5, il est proposé de désigner le conseiller Domenico Zito maire suppléant pour les mois de septembre, octobre et novembre 2023.
Un proposeur
Je me propose, John Morrison.
est secondé.
Je vais le seconder, Steve Bouchard.
Merci.
Au point 7.6, il s'agit des contributions financières additionnelles aux organismes communautaires locaux pour l'année 2023. Il est proposé d'autoriser les ajouts suivants à la liste de contributions. Le premier étant le Montreal Children's Hospital Foundation for the Cyan Bradwell Fund for a total amount of $4,265. And the second one is the Club 55 Plus for an amount of $375.
You propose?
I'll propose that Nancy Kokonasidis.
And second?
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
Nous passons maintenant à la section 8, ressources humaines. The first item is 8.1. It is proposed to confirm Ms. Carole Perrault to the position of Office Clerk and Facility Reservation Agent with the Recreation and Library Department as of January 16, 2023. The whole in accordance with the collective agreement currently in effect for white-collar employees of the town of Kirkland.
This is a replacement and not an add-on, so I need a proposer.
I'll propose it, Dominic Zito.
And second?
I'll second this, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Il n'y a aucune affaire qui touche le point 9 à la présente séance. Ce qui nous amène au point 10, sécurité publique et circulation. First item 10.1. It is proposed to authorize the installation of a speed hump compatible with emergency vehicles on Cambridge Street at the location specified on the plan that will be attached to the resolution.
Un proposeur.
I'll propose that, Alder Faure.
And second?
I second that, John Morrison.
Merci.
Point 10.2, il est proposé d'autoriser l'installation d'un dos d'âne allongé compatible aux véhicules d'urgence sur la rue Daniel, à l'endroit spécifié sur le plan qui sera attaché à la résolution.
Un proposeur.
Jim, I propose John Morrison.
Et secondé?
Je le second, Alder Faure.
Merci.
10.3, it is proposed to authorize the installation of a speed hump compatible with emergency vehicles on Argyle Street at the location that will be specified in the plan attached to the resolution.
Need a proposer?
I'll propose that, Alder Faure.
And second?
I'll second that, John Morrison.
Thank you.
Il n'y a aucune affaire qui touche les points 11, 12 et 13 à la présente séance, ce qui nous amène au point 14, résolution d'appui. Considering that Polycystic Kidney Disease, PKD, Foundation of Canada encourages mayors to join the fight against this illness by giving more visibility to this potential fatal genetic disease and the impact it has on the lives of thousands of Canadians nationwide, considering the mission of the PKD Foundation of Canada is to promote research, advocacy, education, support, and awareness in order to discover treatments and cure and improve the lives of all that it affects. Considering that Health Canada organizes September 4th as the National Polycystic Kidney Disease Awareness Day, it is proposed to declare September 4th, 2023 as the Polycystic Kidney Disease Awareness Day in the town of Kirkland, and to encourage the residents of Kirkland to generously support the cause of PKD Foundation of Canada to improve the quality of life of those affected by this disease.
Propose.
I propose that, Carol Cliff.
And second?
And I will second that, Mike Brown.
Le conseil municipal prend acte du dépôt de la correspondance du mois de juillet 2023 par la greffière. Nous avons un point sous affaires nouvelles. Considérant le déplacement d'une conduite de la ville hors de l'assiette de la servitude actuelle de la ville au coin de la rue Charles et Frost, il est proposé d'autoriser le directeur général à signer pour et au nom de la ville toute servitude requise avec Canadian Tire, QE Kirkland, qui est Brocolini, et REM, afin de tenir compte du déplacement de la conduite de la ville et l'inclure dans la servitude.
Excellent. Un proposeur.
I'll propose that, Carol Cliff.
Et secondé par?
Je le seconder, Mr. Chairman.
Merci.
Ce qui nous amène à la période de questions du public. La période de questions est maintenant ouverte. Tout membre du public qui désire s'adresser au conseil municipal est prié de faire la file derrière le micro. Lorsque le droit de parole vous est accordé, veuillez ne pas toucher le micro, énoncer vos noms et adresses et formuler votre question de manière claire et concise en vous adressant au maire dans un langage respectueux. Chaque intervention est limitée à 2 questions et il vous sera possible de poser des questions supplémentaires lorsque tous les membres du public qui désirent s'adresser au conseil municipal auront eu l'occasion de le faire. Public question period is now open. Members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council are requested to line up behind the microphone. When given the floor, please refrain from touching the microphone. State your name and address and direct your question to the mayor in a clear and concise manner using respectful language. Each intervention is limited to 2 questions. You will be able to ask additional questions once all members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council have had a chance to do so.
Bonsoir, mon nom c'est Éric Tran. Mon adresse est le centre de Charleroi à Coquelin. Le 27 juin 2023, nous avons reçu une lettre de la ville de Coquelin accusant mon chien qui aurait mordu un autre chien dans un parc à chiens à Coquelin. La ville a condamné notre chien à des restrictions et punitions extrêmes basées sur la loi provinciale du Québec de morsure de chien. La province a donné le pouvoir aux municipalités de déclarer un chien potentiellement dangereux s'il existe des motifs raisonnables de croire que le chien est en effet dangereux. La loi est très claire sur les étapes à suivre si un incident aurait eu lieu. Cependant, dans mon cas à moi, mon chien n'a jamais mordu un autre chien et n'a jamais blessé un autre chien et aucun antécédent d'agression ou de plainte existe dans notre dossier. Une seule plainte non fondée avec un ami et 2 photos d'une blessure séchée avec cicatrisation par une agente de sécurité Coquelin suffirait à la ville d'appliquer cette loi contre ma famille. Suite à une vérification de la police poste 1, j'ai appris qu'il n'y a jamais eu de rapport de police par le plaignant. De plus, aucune visite vétérinaire par celui-ci et par Coquelin pour attester s'il existe en fin de compte une blessure récente. Insatisfait du cas que Coquelin n'a jamais mené d'enquête et que mon chien soit faussement accusé, nous avons décidé d'aller dans les médias sociaux pour trouver des preuves que son chien n'a pas été blessé parce que c'est ce que le plaignant a dit à ma femme avant qu'il ait quitté le parc. Résultat, j'ai enfin des preuves pour démontrer que la blessure séchée existait anciennement. J'ai apporté des photos à la ville de Coquelin, mais la ville ne voulait pas prendre connaissance des preuves et m'ont dit qu'ils n'ont pas l'expertise pour analyser des photos de blessures et pas non plus les ressources nécessaires de faire une enquête. Dans ce cas, la seule solution est de faire recours à une observation vétérinaire avec toute accusation. Si la ville n'est pas en mesure de mener une enquête, alors Coquelin devrait cesser de faire des accusations contre un citoyen innocent sans aucune preuve valide et établie qu'il y ait eu lieu d'agressivité ou de morsure de chien. On est présumé innocent avant d'être jugé coupable. Si la ville de Coquelin a des motifs raisonnables et croit que mon chien est agressif ou a mordu un chien, c'est la responsabilité de la ville de Coquelin ou du plaignant de faire une attestation de la blessure à un vétérinaire et non de l'accusé qui doit prouver son innocence suite à une fausse accusation. Ma question est que c'est important pour la ville, avant de faire une accusation contre un citoyen, qu'il y ait des preuves. Parce qu'il n'y a pas eu de morsure de chien, il n'y a pas eu personne blessée, puis mon chien n'est pas agressif. Mais cependant, la ville encore me demande et harcèle encore par des appels téléphoniques et aussi des messages pour me dire que je dois apporter mon chien à un vétérinaire pour vérifier. Mais sauf que mon chien n'a jamais rien fait.
On n'est pas ici pour débattre de la preuve. C'est tout simplement qu'une procédure qu'on doit suivre, que le gouvernement du Québec nous impose, et puis il y a eu une plainte, et c'est tout simplement que la procédure est en train de se suivre. Si je ne me trompe pas, tu as déjà un rendez-vous avec un vétérinaire. Ah, c'est aujourd'hui, ça?
Non, c'est vendredi qui s'en vient.
Ah, OK. Donc, on laisse le cours aller, mais ici, on n'est pas en mesure de commenter sur ce cas-là. C'est tout simplement, la plainte a été faite, la procédure avec le chien doit être examinée par un vétérinaire, puis on suit la procédure qui est là. Mais ce soir, je ne peux pas, puis je sais qu'on s'est parlé au téléphone. Et puis, écoute, je sympathise avec toi, mais il n'y a rien que je peux te dire qui pourrait prouver ou disprouver ce que tu me dis. Pour le moment, il y a une procédure à suivre, puis il faut la suivre. On n'a pas de choix.
Je comprends votre procédure, mais la procédure consiste si le chien s'est fait mordre. Il n'y a pas de chien qui s'est fait mordre. Il n'y a pas de blessé. Il n'y a pas de blessure.
Mais c'est ce que toi, tu prétends. Écoute, je ne peux pas dire le contraire, je ne le sais pas. Parce que je ne dois pas me mêler de ces choses qui arrivent au légal, qui doit suivre une procédure provinciale.
En tant que citoyen de Coquelin, on ne peut pas se faire accuser par n'importe qui, n'importe comment. C'est
Tu
ce qui se passe en ce
devrais
moment.
laisser le processus se faire, puis que le vétérinaire examine ton chien, puis à ce moment-là, il va y avoir des recommandations qui vont être faites. Puis à ce moment-là, tu pourrais prendre une position, mais pour le moment, il n'y a rien que je peux faire, monsieur.
Je crois qu'il y a de justice à Coquelin, vraiment.
C'est la procédure qu'on doit suivre. C'est pas la première, ça fait, je crois, 4 ou 5 qu'on a jusqu'à maintenant. 4 ou 5. Puis la plupart du temps, les chiens ont été trouvés avec certaines choses qu'ils devaient faire. Puis pour le moment, on doit attendre le résultat du vétérinaire.
Mais Coquelin devrait prendre une enquête suffisante pour établir.
Oui, mais c'est pas au conseil de prendre l'enquête. C'est la procédure provinciale qui nous incite, lorsqu'on a une plainte, et puis la sécurité publique va prendre des photos, et ainsi de suite, de rassembler les faits. Les faits vont à la greffière, et la greffière doit suivre la procédure. Puis la fin de la procédure, c'est l'examen du chien au vétérinaire. Puis ici, on ne dira pas qu'il est coupable ou il n'est pas coupable. C'est pas à nous, ici, le conseil à faire ce d'ici.
La loi provinciale dit exactement que si la ville, la municipalité a une croyance raisonnable, qui soit établie par preuve, il n'y a pas de preuve, il n'y a rien qui est établi.
Correct, c'est ce que tu me dis, mais je ne peux pas être capable d'appeler.
Ok, j'ai rien à dire d'abord.
Merci. Suivant.
Hello, bad audio again. When I listen to this when I get home, I can't understand what's been said. Luc Pigeon, 16876 times. I have 5 documents that I'd like to depose with the city clerk
Perfect.
for archival purposes.
Yeah. Okay.
Toute la route à casquette, elle doit être collée sur ton cou.
Hey, chut, mon tour. Tu viens là au microphone que ça soit le tien.
Elle doit être collée sur ta
OK, la question.
Well, I'd like to have some.
OK, la question.
Yeah.
Allez-y.
Just can't. For a question, yeah, I have 3 questions. My
Deux
first
questions,
Yeah.
puis tu auras la fin.
Okay, I'm used to the procedure. So I just want to give the names of the documents because I like to have them registered here on the microphone. Radio-Canada, une erreur d'importance. Radio-Canada made a false claim about the amount of tons that were emitted with the forest fires up north. Okay? Les 290 mégatonnes de carbone équivalent à 1063 mégatonnes de CO2, plus de 3 fois et demi ce qui a été affirmé. They said that we had the forest fires emitted 3.5 times less than what they did, okay? False reporting. And it is 13 times more emissions, annual emissions of Quebec that were emitted there in June. So we are in a serious problem, and the forest fires are still burning because they're still giving us smoke alarms. So this is proof, I believe that. And the other 3, just give you the title. We're dangerously near some climate tipping points. That's how serious this situation is. Climate collapse could happen fast and soon, as early as in 3 years. 3 years from now, my dear. And to support my question, which will include slavery, American capitalism is brutal. You can see that now with climate change. Capitalism is a brutal system. And it's what's going to doom humanity, I'm sorry to say. So I'll go to my first question. Thank you for allowing me to give you the title of my documents. It's very important. So, the exploitation of slavery as a source of energy that destroyed the dignity and well-being of unfortunate human beings for hundreds of years may have ended, but the savagery continues. This time with the exploitation of fossil fuels as a source of energy that destroys the environment and brings us ever closer to climate collapse. My question, why are we allowing politicians to continue to promote the use of fossil fuels for the same reasons that they previously promoted the use of slaves? To create rich elites who could live a life of luxury? And why are we paying increasingly high prices for food, rent, and the hidden tax of inflation that makes life more difficult for the most vulnerable among us and benefits only the richest 1%?
Je vais te renvoyer la réponse par écrit. Je vais t'écrire.
Okay, that's good. My second question.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to answer that one too, you know. Why are politicians more interested in business as usual at any cost, rather than preventing the climate collapse that is on the horizon, and that could happen soon and fast? So why do they want business as usual at a time when we're supposed to be in a climate emergency? 5 years ago, they declared a climate emergency. They have done very little.
OK, encore là, Lucien, je vais te répondre par courrier.
That's really not the way that the other municipalities proceed, Mike.
I'm sorry, but your question is so philosophical, it goes from spectrum A to spectrum Z. You know, I can answer your question, but I know, Lucien, you won't be satisfied. So, we got the question, we recorded your question.
Okay, listen.
And I'll answer you briefly.
May I read what you answered next month on the microphone?
You could, I don't mind.
Thank you, sir.
So that's your second question?
Yeah, I think I did both, yeah.
Okay.
I'll come back.
Okay, perfect.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is Alan Gartshore, and I live at 293 Rue Evans.
How long no see?
Yeah, Mike, good to see some of you on council. It's been a while since I've been here. My subject is more local. I lived on Evans for 40 years, and this year we've had more boil water advisories than in the previous 39 years. Now, I know Kirkland's infrastructure is aging, as some of us are too. Ha! I'm looking at you, but anyway, my question is, are these isolated incidents, is our infrastructure falling apart? Are we doing anything to address the whole global water system? Or, you know, we've got a new pump station, is that part of the problem? Because all we get is the advisory. We don't get the reasoning or the cost.
We're aware of the number of code reds that you received. And I know we had a presentation this evening by our Director General, and this council has approved a resolution for the problem on Evans. And we're looking at relining the piping itself. We'll be going to tender shortly, and we're estimating that the job will probably start in September. But true, you had probably more warnings than other sectors because the piping is getting older, but we'll try to basically fix the situation for another 20-25 years as soon as possible.
Which brings me to my second question.
Okay.
We had some Kirkland officials going around our street taking pictures of houses, the driveway, the streets. And the last time they did that, I'm going to say 7 or 8 years ago, they dug up the street for 6 months and placed new sewers. I'm assuming new water. If they didn't put water at the same time, Kirkland's going to have a reputation with the city of Montreal. They rip up St. Catherine Street for the sidewalks, rip it up the next year for hydro, rip it up next year for the sewers, and rip it up next year for the water. If we didn't do the water at the same time we did the sewers, we had a problem. So what's the problem on Kirkland, on Evans?
On Evans Street.
That's needing a lining.
Basically, it's the usage, the piping is older. So we need to reline it.
So
that's why you had probably more warnings.
They never sorry to cut you off, they never replaced the water when they did the sewers.
I can't make reference to the word you're referring to, so I can't answer the question the way you're answering it. What I can tell you is that we plan our work properly, so please don't compare it to the city of Montreal.
I would never want to do that,
Thank you.
okay?
So
I would never want
to
to
answer a couple of your questions. One is our underground network is not falling apart. Depending on pressure and depending on flow of water, there are problematic areas. We are testing those areas and we're finding them. We found yours a little later than we wanted to. So other areas of the town, we're going to be continuously testing to, when we find the same readings that we found on your particular pipe, we will address them sooner.
Yeah.
As far as your pipe is concerned, we tried everything possible to clean that pipe out to make sure that it functioned properly. We weren't able to. The only solution at this point is running it.
Understood.
So we address things when we think the need is there. I can't answer your comment about why didn't you do it at the same time as the sanitary or the storm, because I don't recall if we did that, but I will look into it and I'll get back to you.
I'd appreciate that.
What about the photos, Joe? Who's taking them?
We take photos whenever we do a construction job on the site, because there's
Okay, because we're preparing for the estimates.
We take pictures of the site to make sure that we put it back in the same way that we found it.
That's why I'm asking, because the last time the pictures were taken, the street was dug up, there were new sewers. I assumed if you would put the water in, but,
Not necessarily.
well, you
Alex,
best.
again, Al, you don't have the answer to that, nor do I at this
Okay.
point. Let's have that conversation, we
Okay.
both have the information,
Super.
okay? I'll be happy to have it.
Well, if you could get back to me,
I will.
Yeah.
I will. The work that's going to be required isn't digging up the entire street. The work is really creating pits around where the valves are.
Okay, that's a relief.
Exactly what we're doing on St. Mary.
Yeah, okay, great.
Same thing.
All right, thanks for your
Thanks,
answers.
Bob.
Appreciate it.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Paul D'Antoni, 25 Shokey. I have a concern over the properties in disarray in Kirkland. I've been a resident of Kirkland for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And things are going south, quite frankly. Junk strewn over people's driveways, cars and driveways in questionable operating condition, garbage on streets where the garbage, I guess, did not meet the collection standards, it just stayed there for days. The owners are not putting it back, putting it away. Large tree trunks still sitting on lawns from the ice storm. Unkept landscaping, weeds this high, so on and so forth. Now I realize this is not a simple problem to address, but what can we do to get this sense of pride back into Kirkland?
You just give us the address. Every day I get a call, can you look at this grass? It's probably 1 feet tall. We send public security. They get a warning. If they don't do it, they get a fine. So you have to advise us or advise your city councilor of the property in questions, and we'll act accordingly.
Well, Mr. Gibson, I understand that, but public security is going around all the time. They must take note of what's going on.
Yeah, but if you see them yourself, it's like us, we'll see it, we'll report it. And yes, it's one of your jobs, but it's good to know it from our residents also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm not going
If you're not satisfied, tell us the address and we'll act on it.
All right. Well, that's fair enough. But all I'll say is I take walks with my wife pretty well daily, and we have a series of homes we see every.
Just put the address, tell us exactly what it is. Is it, I remember Tivoli Trail, we had a house there that, when I was first elected, there was an engine block that was in the driveway.
Yeah.
And had been there before my election for probably 5 years. We got rid of it. So if you see something like that, trash lying around where it's not supposed to be, advise your councilor or advise the director.
Well, I appreciate that.
And we'll do it. We'll do it.
I'm sorry.
We think exactly like you. We want our city clean, well kept, but tell us and we'll do it.
I understand that, but I would like to see the city perhaps take a more proactive approach. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, but keep in mind with the ice storm also, you still have branches that are coming out from the backyards.
Well, that's the least of the problems, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's the other stuff. All right, well, thank you for listening.
Tell us and we'll act on it, that's for sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Good evening, Maria Dishon, 98 Morley Hill. Mr. Gibson, could you elaborate, as opposed to saying we amend bylaw number 25, S23?
Which?
7.3, please.
I'm sorry?
7.3.
7.3?
What changes were brought about with
Amendment,
55A?
But there are certain amendments that they did, basic amendments, and we could go into it. I can review it with you tomorrow, but it was nothing major. It's still the same number of Kirkland residents that have to be on the executive. It's minor changes, fees for certain dances and or activity, and basically it's all clerical amendment. Yeah, and you can go at, you're a member, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a member of the budget committee.
Okay, but they'll be brought up at their AGM, will be Saturday. Okay, but they'll have an AGM that's where they'll present all the amendments to their bylaw. But it was nothing major where we refused it, it was only clerical amendments.
Just up to date stuff.
It's to make it up to date.
Okay.
I believe they also increased the executive by 2 members to 7. So, minor. Next question?
Yes, I'm not sure if this question has been answered or asked before, but with the REMS working in the South Shore, I got thinking about it for our area for next year. Is it too early to ask? How are the interested passengers supposed to get to the station? Are there any plans that you are aware of?
Listen, up to now, with what's happening on the South Shore, when it'll arrive in Kirkland, all the problems will be fixed. You know? But for now, the opening would be, I believe, January 2024. 25, that's right. January 2025.
I thought it was next year, so.
Yeah,
But
it's
still the
also-
question is, are there any plans that you're aware of how the passengers are supposed to get to the station? Is it St. Charles, Metro Station or St. Charles?
Not
Bus
yet.
or Chennai Center?
How many bus? I don't know how many bus will be increased, and some will be walking, some will be going by car, and basically there'll be a drop-off zone for the passengers. That's, you know, but there'll be an increase of SDM bus. To what extent, we don't know, we didn't see it yet.
Okay, so you're not aware of?
No, we're not aware of the flow of traffic yet. We know there'll be probably around 900 people, that will be, around 900 people for that station. That's what they're predicting.
No, my question is directly more the public transportation to get to the station.
And that's what I'm saying, yes, you will have some, but for now, Joe, can you start in the background? No, but yes, there'll be, but we don't have it from the SDM.
Well, I presume that as soon as you know.
Okay, well, at
Thank you.
least, we'll know it.
Good evening. I'm Eric Tran again, Quality Chapter 1. During the month of July, I filed a complaint regarding a person who owns a Boston Terrier who bit my dog. And then at that time, he brought his small dog in a big dog park at the same time with his baby, 5 years old, that he was babysitting. I need to find out whether the complaint was handled.
I don't have any information on that.
How do
I need to probably. Okay. So, Annie, or if you have, Madame Liendo told me you have a meeting.
No.
Oh, you have a meeting? Okay, our director has a meeting to discuss it.
I appreciate that. So, would I have an answer by email that there's action being taken by the city, that I've been treated
But
by
we don't
someone?
know the action yet, you know, there's still the evaluation for the video
understand.
and the meeting that you'll have.
Is
Yeah,
aggressive
and there'll
dog?
be a meeting between La Greffière and our director
I
general.
need to find out whether his aggressive dog will be addressed the same manner that he accused my dog.
Mr. Tran, I have a meeting scheduled this week. I will listen to what they have, what my staff has been able to collect. And at that point, we'll make a decision on it.
Okay.
You're always welcome through access to information, to ask for whatever information you'd like.
Exactly.
So you should put your request in and we'll respond to
So
it.
let's
Thank you.
just wait for that meeting.
I appreciate that.
Okay, Mr.
Mr. Ross.
Steve.
Bonsoir.
Honorable le maire. Mon nom est Steven Larocque, j'habite au 27 Great Chance. C'est une question.
27.
27 Great Chance. Want to go back in English?
What is this?
Question number one is to find out water tables around our area have been rising. So we're a little bit, la nappe phréatique.
Oui.
Monsieur que j'entends en français. Ok, donc, la nappe phréatique commence à monter et puis la question demeure au niveau du bassin de rétention qui est au secteur à côté du REM. So there's a basin that's right in front of the cinema. That basin now has been terminated, and at the same time, well, not terminated, but it's not being used in the same fashion as it's been used over the years when it was first created. So now we're at a point where our water table is now rising and it's causing damages and subsequent water infiltrations into homes, okay, in our area, which is on the street of Great Chance. So,
une question, est-ce qu'il y a des maisons qui ont été affectées avec ça?
Oui, c'est justement, il y a des secteurs publics qui vont à les maisons, ils ont déjà testé, ils ont vu. Ils ont même, on a même parlé avec Santa pour savoir une intervention et savoir ses opinions. Donc, on a déjà fait une démarche à ce niveau-là pour voir le début. Et puis de voir qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pour nous assister. Parce que c'est sûr qu'au niveau de même nos driveways, l'infiltration, there's a rise in water tables, so there's a rise now in our septics and our piping in the street. So there is an issue. There's also a pumping station that's nearby. So I think all these things started tying into each other. There has been an issue this week with the pumping station. It was not put on. So therefore the waters actually rose to, maybe another 2 feet, 3 feet inside the sewers and the manholes.
Okay.
So there's been an ongoing, up and down with the water tables around our homes, and so we're pumping a lot more. And there's land damage to a point like our driveways. So when the neighbors, basically the driveways have actually risen during the wind thaw periods, and about an inch and a half.
Okay.
My driveway, you just look at it on my address, go to Google Maps, and you see during the years, there's been a deterioration since they did the road work. So there's a tie-in to all these things that are a little bit more complex than just. But I guess the first question remains that, for the water basin, since that does tie into some of our damages and the water table rising, will that be reactivated, number one, right? So, and when will it be reactivated? Will it be reactivated in the same sense? Because it did alleviate a lot of the stress in our area. But also, there's some pumping stations kind of important. If it's not working, it kind of puts us in a catch-22 where we're pouring water constantly in this run. So there's so many levels of questioning that we need to address and talk about. So I guess where do we start? Is the first question, right? And
but the first question, I know the retention basin. We're looking at the construction of your ranch.
Yeah.
The retention basin that used to be the dock run. Now, that was a retention basin, but just for the overflow. The retention basin is really in the back where you've got the fountain.
Yes.
But at this present time, I'll have to pass the word to Joe concerning the consequence of what's happening.
So first of all, I'm not aware of the situation, Steve. So I'm going to have a conversation with Sam Talk tomorrow, because I'm not. When you refer to water table levels, are you referring to the volume of water in our conduits, or are you referring to actual water table?
I can get into that too, but that'll be something, there's so many levels to this, it's like, it's mind-boggling.
The retention basin as it stands today is going to be returned back to its original state as far as volume is concerned. So the shape will be a little bit different. The volume in the second retention basin, because it's really the first
overflow section.
The overflow.
Yeah.
Will have the same volume that so the two retention basins together will have the same volume that they had previous to the REM being constructed on it. Okay. That's part of the agreement that we have with REM.
Yeah.
Where the construction of the station was supposed to be completed in December of 2023.
For 1 year left.
I'm assuming that in the spring of next year it's back to its limits. I have yet to see the water flow in the first retention basin though elevated. We've actually had that water sometimes elevated to a point where it's almost at the surface of the road, right? We have not seen that this year, so I'm a little.
So we have to ask ourselves the question: where's the water?
Well, no, because usually it's during our systems are functioning, right? So that's why I'm asking the question: is it water table or is it conduit?
It's actually the actual land water, and not forget because the water and the surrounding land has now risen. So if we're not evacuating, it's staying in the land, okay? So as the land levels start rising,
That's the principle
we're
of
pumping.
retention basin.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we've seen now in our area, in our sector especially, because we're a straight line into from the retention basin,
The other side,
we're the ones that are actually, you're using our street to pump the water out from the retention basin. So that being said.
Okay, so I can't argue that point. I don't think that's a fact. Okay. I'm not questioning what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I will do
is. That's fine. This is exactly where Sam comes in, and then he'll start alleviating, start answering some of the questions. But there's also the levels of, there's all the French drains on our street aren't functional. Okay, so if French drains, I can show you pictures and all that of how our driveways got destroyed. And this one of our neighbors that's here tonight too. His driveway was brand new. His pavillon was risen about 1.5 inches. So, and then it all came back down once the thaw came out. So, and this has been doing, like, my driveway's been doing that constantly. So, it's got to do with water tables, it's got to do with pumping. So, Sam started looking a little bit into it, put the public works into it.
Okay.
But it's been, I think this is where the questions start lying. Where
further deep.
I
will investigate.
Yeah, I need a little bit of help on it, so we could just at least motivate everybody around
When
this.
did you spoke to Sam the last time?
About 4 months ago, I think.
Oh, 4 months.
4 months ago.
April.
Okay.
April.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Just a moment, go ahead, Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen, I'm your counselor. So, just interesting to find out, how many homes are approximately affected at this point?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about.
4 or 5?
That are
All on the same side?
And they're all
yeah,
beside each other?
I can show you the winter pictures. There's sloping problems on the street. There's actually, I took an automatic level and I started leveling out the street to find out, because Sam asked me the question. So I actually do have some of the answers for Sam. And so I didn't go through the process yet with them to try and, illuminate.
Yes.
But there is a counter slope. There's no French drains that are active. So design-wise on the street, there's a few questions that need to be answered, and they're also giving us trouble so that we don't have this pumping capability anymore. So my pump in my basement is on 24/7. I got a 60 gallon per minute. We do the math.
And all the homes are beside each other?
Yeah, correct. They're all in that sector.
And when, I just want to know, like, when you made the call, you called the city?
Yes.
And then then that's how long ago?
About 4 months ago.
4 months ago.
Yeah, but in his defense, he's done things.
So we can hear Steve, please.
Yeah. So in Sam's defense, Sam's not ignoring, trust me.
No.
Yeah, far from it there, okay? So let's make it clear so that there's no accusation or
But
anything.
this problem
He's sent the people out, it's just that the presence of mine has to be a little bit quicker because we're gonna get back into a winter section, and if we haven't addressed it, the time to address it is now if there is something to be done. So I would, actually ask, I guess
We'll
that's my
find out
second
if-
question, now how we can
We'll find out
really
if it's
start advancing.
related to the retention base on the other side. So
Yeah, and
Joe
all these
will
things start
report
tying
back.
into.
So Steve, give me a couple of days.
Yeah.
I'll speak to Sam tomorrow. And I'll try to understand exactly what he's picturing or what he's seeing as a.
Well, he was questioning in the conversations, he was questioning the drainage systems around our streets too. And we have answers that they're not draining, there's certain sections towards Beaconsfield are draining. And so we have an advancement of answers, it's just that do we have the open ear to say, we're gonna expect that.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
I think our question starts on, in what mannerism can we start getting answers to what is gonna happen also because that retention basin does take a lot of stress off of our street.
Yeah.
Okay, it does.
Okay.
All right.
We'll find out, Steve. Joe will report directly to you.
Thank you, so.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bonjour, mon nom est Claude Lapointe, du 32 Grace Chance.
Bonjour.
En fait, je suis son voisin d'en face.
Ah, ok.
Écoutez, je peux rajouter un peu sur ce qu'il lui a mentionné.
Oui, allez-y.
C'est la même chose, mais moi, le 4 du mois d'août, un samedi, je me suis aperçu dans ma cave. Ma cave n'est pas finie. Là. Et le drain de plancher, j'ai un clapet. Il y a un anti-retour. Et là, il était fermé, puis il y avait un petit peu d'eau là, au-dessus. Puis là, j'ai vu qu'il y avait un refoulement d'eau qui se faisait. Une chance que j'ai quand même des clapets pour faire ça. J'ai appelé immédiatement la ville de Kirkland, puis la personne, parce qu'il y avait un numéro d'urgence.
Ouais.
Elle est venue en dedans de 30 minutes. Elle est venue constater, elle a pris des photos. Oh, là, elle m'a dit, je vais appeler quelqu'un. Fait que la personne, moi, je suis parti faire marcher 1 heure, 2h30 après. Quand je suis revenu à la maison, tout était beau. Et à 6h30, un employé de la ville est venu me voir, il sonnait à ma porte. Il dit, est-ce que c'est correct? Moi, j'ai dit, oui, tout est beau. Il m'a dit, c'est parce qu'il a vérifié, les pompes étaient à off.
Ah, ok, la station.
Il n'avait pas parti les pompes. Et la question que je me pose dans tout ça, c'est, en fait, c'est pas la première fois que c'est arrivé. J'entendais des bruits dans ma cave depuis peut-être là, le mois de juin. C'est sûr qu'on a eu des pluies assez importantes, là, mais il y en avait eu les autres années, puis ça n'a jamais fait ça, mon chez moi. Il n'y a plus de bassin de rétention. Est-ce que c'est un facteur? C'est pour ça que j'aime le point pour la ville de Kirkland, en discussion avec la reine, trouver une solution, ça prend un bassin de rétention, parce que nous, on va vivre de plus en plus de problèmes. Puis, il y a une pompe qui marche. Je me suis fait dire par un employé qui est venu vérifier. Il y en a une deuxième, elle est en maintenance, donc elle ne fonctionne pas.
On va vérifier.
Si on manque d'électricité, la question que je veux que vous apportiez en solution, si on manque d'électricité, en manquant d'électricité chez moi, on va manquer d'électricité d'un pont, puis absolument, lorsqu'on manque d'électricité, c'est lors de périodes là, où des grandes pluies, puis là, on va tous être inondés.
Je suis d'accord avec toi.
Mais pourquoi il n'y a pas de génératrice au gaz naturel? Le gaz naturel, il passe dans la rue. C'est une arrose de solution. Deuxième point, pour en revenir à nos stationnements qui se soulèvent.
Ouais, ça, c'est quand même
moi. J'ai payé 60 000 pour faire refaire tous mes terrassements.
C'est-tu papier uni ou
papier uni.
Papier uni.
Fait que c'est à peu près sur les 6 premiers pieds. Fait que là, ça lève, puis là, ça casse en autre 6 pieds. Lorsqu'ils ont refait en 2009 ou 2010 la rue, ils avaient mis des drains français à l'intérieur du terrain, profondément collés sur la bordure de l'eau. Et puis, devait être connecté au pluvial. Il y a comme des tuyaux blancs qui passent profondément. Moi, depuis ce temps-là, dans les grosses pluies, j'ai tout été vérifié. J'ai jamais vu, au printemps ou dans l'été, jamais vu une goutte d'eau sortir de ce tuyau blanc. Mais il y a d'autres endroits que je voyais que ça drainait. J'avais demandé à Samtoc, j'ai parlé à Samtoc au mois d'avril, j'ai dit, est-ce possibilité de vérifier? Y a-t-il un blocage des drains français qui fait que là, ça ne draine plus, puis nos stationnements, il y a des soulèvements?
Exactement. Il y a beaucoup d'hypothèques, beaucoup de probabilités, mais c'est bon de savoir.
Fait que ça rajoute toutes les choses.
Exactement ce que Steve disait.
Parce qu'il y a d'autres voisins aussi qui vont avoir les mêmes problèmes, ils n'en ont pas été encore conscients dans ma vie.
On va suivre l'affaire de très près, puis Joe va être le contact avec Steve ou votre groupe.
Ça fait 38 ans que je demeure là, puis c'est la première fois que ça arrive.
On va les autres.
Merci.
Merci.
Bob Cox, 168 Niagara. This is not a question, I just was on my way home today, and on the Honeydale there was an accident. I don't know if it was a scooter or a bike, but the police force was out there stopping the streets and all that. But when I was coming here tonight, I noticed that on the bicycle path on the north and on the south side, they should have a small stop sign when you get there, because if you go on Elkis and you're on the bicycle paths, at different places you got bicycle stop signs. I would recommend that you would possibly look at this and consider it, because when cars come down, they stop because you got the yellow lines. Myself, I even stop when there's nobody there, just to make sure that nobody's crossing.
There's fence also.
Yes, I understand.
Ask to stop.
No, the bike goes right to it, no. You should have a bicycle stop sign.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I'm a big Bob, I've taken note.
Stop
signs are actually painted on the asphalt.
Yes, I noticed that.
So I've taken note of your comment.
It's only a suggestion, okay? This is not a question now.
Okay, next question.
Okay, my question is, photo radar would help suburbs to improve safety.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard your comment,
Yeah.
I'm addressing the council and you, Mr. Mayor, at the
Yeah.
same time. I'm addressing it, probably somebody have read it, or should I read it?
Everybody read it, no, we know it.
Okay, okay.
It would be a great thing for Kirkland.
The idea is it gonna be a portable radar?
We don't have the jurisdiction yet.
No, okay.
So let's start there with the provincial government giving us the jurisdiction. For now, I cannot tell you if it's a portable or this or that. We're not even in the conversation.
No,
But we wanted it.
Don't get me wrong now.
No, but.
The idea, like on St. Charles, we got 10 lights between the metro, the shopping center, okay?
Yeah.
And going down, crossing over from south to north to south.
There's some great spots for those photo radar. Yeah.
Well, no, just a minute. You got so many lights there.
Yeah.
Okay? And the traffic in the morning between 6 and 9:30, you won't catch nobody speeding on there.
Yeah.
And from 2 o'clock till 6:30 at night, probably later on and all that. And then you suggested that, I noticed here that you're talking about the police force for the West Island. You understand? That the amount of people that we have in the police force that are not suitable for radar or anything.
I never said that, Bob. It's probably another mayor.
No, just a minute. I'm not. You want me to read it?
There was 4 mayors that were quoted in that article.
No, but I'm reading your article. I'm just stating.
I'm just reporting what I said. I said clearly photo radar would be good in Kirkland around. Around parks. Let me finish, Bob.
Yes, I can read it. Yeah.
Around school, boulevards and all that. And I only spoken about. And even the cost was not important if we were there to basically save life. And that's what I basically said.
The idea of it is too, that the AGO mission that we're paying $33 million to the city of Montreal, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, half of our taxes are going to Montreal.
Yeah.
Dickinsfield, Big Durfee, all this, okay? So, why can we maybe get together, not just the council, but the people, and address Montreal and stating the fact that we shouldn't be paying for the extra.
That's a cut, Bob. That's different to the photo radar. We're talking about 2 different things. And we've got this.
We should have more police force then. For the amount of money that we're paying.
For sure, Bob. We're paying $8 million out of the $33 million just for police force with 50 employees. And 50 employees, they're not all cops. They're basically the secretary.
Yeah, but they're taking care of 5 cities.
I know, Bob. We're aware. We had a meeting with the new commander this evening, all of council. We asked him a question. He's aware. The low criminality makes it the fact that we've got probably less cops, but we would like to have more policemen. That we made our story clear. And for the AGLO, that's another subject where we're meeting on a regular basis. The AGLO, Madame Olivier, she's in charge of finance, and it's our second meeting now. And they're seeing not eye to eye, but we're coming to a resolution. But photo radar, coming to your first question, yes, it would be a really good thing.
A portable one where you could place it anywhere you want.
Yeah, but
that would be.
Yeah, at this present time, we've got in every district, and they can be removable if you've got electricity. We've got the indicator for the speeding, like on Good Street. Yeah, but what would be good, it would be photo radar. Steve, you want to add something?
Well, just to let you know, it's not only for the municipalities of the West Island, but it's the municipalities of Quebec, all the smaller municipalities of Quebec. There's already a request from the UNQ, which is Union des Municipalités de Québec. They've already made the request to the government. There's supposed to be a projet de loi coming in the autumn Their problem is manpower and money. Because they
Because
can't handle all of the, if they add all the little municipalities, they can't handle all the proof that is needed, all the manpower to identify the plates, identify the owner of the cars, send out the tickets, etc. So right now, everybody's asking for the same thing, not just us.
Okay.
And there is a request from the UNQ to the government, but it's a question of manpower and money. And they think there'll be a projet de loi coming probably September, October, which will probably after that, then it'll take another year at least to become law. But they know about it, everybody's requesting the same thing. But again, it comes down to manpower and money.
Yeah.
The only thing that I see is, like for our city, is a portable one where they could put it.
Absolutely. Bob, don't forget, when you have photo radar, the permission to use photo radar, you have to have a sign that goes with it saying photo radar possible.
Possible.
So that means you can put the machine in one place one day, leave the sign, take the machine, put it somewhere else, but the sign is still there.
Yes.
So it's like a reminder to people to, there might be a photo radar there, even though it's not there.
That's right.
So this is what we need. I think it'd be a great plus for us and for everybody.
And technically too, the car people, they got the apps stating where the radars are too.
Yeah.
You understand?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But when you see a sign, believe me, I see a sign on the highway that says photo radar.
Yes.
Just
Okay,
slow down.
you slow down.
Yes, I believe that, so. Okay, I just wanted to bring this up. Thank you very much.
Getting back to climate change and the 5-year climate emergency that doesn't seem to be an emergency for some people. Could I ask you, Mr. Mayor, if you could answer either yes or no on the following question?
Go ahead, Michelle.
I want a yes or a no. Am I wasting my time coming here in the hope that you will finally see?
Let's take a moment.
Thanks for your support, guys. That maybe you will eventually see that the present savage capitalist system is leading to the end of civilized society that we have known.
That's the question you asked.
Yes or no, because I already know the answer I would give, but what is yours?
You see, you know the work we're doing in Kirkland, okay?
A yes or no would be appreciated.
Listen, you're welcome to come to
Are you
City
leading
Hall.
up to a yes?
You're welcome to come to City Hall.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Anybody else want to answer yes?
I'd like to answer that.
She likes your email.
I read all your emails.
You do?
I do.
I never expected that from you guys.
I'm on the environment committee, I read all your emails, I watch all your videos. The last one made me
Ah,
cry.
holy
Very,
cow.
very sad. I have to tell you,
Really?
you come every meeting, and I can respect that. I respect your diligence, I
My
respect
passion,
your passion, I do. But you need, I just want to clarify one thing. We are a small municipality, however, we work very hard to encourage and to educate all our residents on various topics so that we can conform to the safety of our environment, if you like. So when you're coming here talking about global leaders and whatnot, we're too small to even consider that. But what we can control is what happens in our own municipality. And I have to say that we have a great environment committee, we have a great administration, and we have great ideas. So we are moving forward and we're taking the right steps. So I want you to rest assured that it's not coming to deaf ears. We hear you, we feel it. I'm a mother of children. Most of the council members have children or grandchildren, and we don't want what's on the video to happen here. But you have to understand the scale of what you're presenting and what we can do in exchange. So we are doing our part here, and I want you to know that.
Well, thank you very much. Can I respond? Can I make a short response on that?
Can I add something, Mr. Pigeon?
What?
Is it okay if I add something?
Oh,
to that?
sure. Hey,
You know, Nancy, she came on to the Environment Committee because she is passionate about it. And as the other gentleman pointed out earlier, you know, we want people to take pride in their properties, and that's part of the Environment Committee. We have the Kirkland in Bloom, which we try to get people to promote. You may not see a lot of the efforts, and sometimes it is frustrating when you see that people don't adhere, whether it's speeding, whether it's maintenance or just basic care, you know, and then getting back to the environment, there's many programs that we try to reduction of water usage, many things that we try to do, and you have to keep hammering away and not giving up as you do sometimes, but I appreciate that question tonight though. That one put a smile on my face and it was, you know, more relaxed so we could give you the time and a response, so continue, but just try to be respectful and, you know, ask questions that we maybe take some time to think about, questions that we can answer.
Can I respond to both of those?
Sure.
Well, Nancy, I know, just like Montreal always tells me, they're doing all they can for climate change and the environment, and I respect that, and I know it's true. And about Mike saying that you more or less refer to the population of Kirkland, to the people. It's not the people who are responsible for climate change, it's the politicians, because people don't have the power. The politicians have an what I call a fascist economic system, okay, that drives climate change. They have policy. They make the policy that creates climate change. So I never blame the people. I always say it's the politician. Goes back to 1979, 1980, when it was the decade that we had a chance to stop climate change, and it was blocked by the White House. The White House could have acted 30, 40 years ago, and we wouldn't be in the mess we are today. So it's not the people, Mike. It's not the people.
It is the people. I'll give you an argument.
No, sir. I won't ever accept that.
Could I just say one thing and tell me if you believe maybe I am right? 20, 30 years ago, actually 50 years ago, when we were children.
How about going back 100 years ago?
And the lake was completely polluted around Montreal. Have we made any significant gains in 2023 since that time?
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
No, yes, I know there's.
Okay, so I know it's
for the water,
the speed and the timing, but being persistent and consistent over the next 10, 20, 30 years, it isn't gradual.
You don't have that amount of time.
I understand your argument, but I just want you to know it is the people over time as they become educated. But it does take time.
Okay, I think I've taken enough time, Mr. Mayor.
But you're welcome.
And I really appreciate the exchange we had this evening.
Excellent.
And I hope we can have more exchanges like that. And I just want to know your position, and you know mine. And I will not change my path about what I think about climate change.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too.
And I hope to see you all again next month.
Yeah.
We're still alive. We're still alive.
Okay, any more questions? Any more questions? No? Just to tell you, our next public council meeting will be Tuesday, September the 5th at 8 o'clock. Prochaine assemblée publique, mardi 5 septembre à 20h. I would now need somebody to close in the meeting.
I'll close the meeting, Dominic Zito.
And second by?
I'll second that all before.
Thank you for coming and have a nice evening. Merci d'être venu et une belle soirée. Merci.